I see that there's one person online watching. We're experiencing technical difficulties. I'm not sure why. After all, we've practiced this 4 times, and it's worked perfectly every time. But of course, on the day that we do the live broadcast, that's the day that it's going to mess up. You knew that would be the case, at least I did. So please bear with us. They are rebooting their computer and going to try it all from the start again.
Jim's going to sign on to his computer just in case.
Okay.
Computer issues, so we'll get both of them going.
Please bear with us.
We're here, Jim.
Hey, there's old Bill Rascal. Hey, Bill.
Hey, howdy.
Bill, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. I'm going to hang up the phone so we won't get that echo.
Yeah. Want to hang up your phone? I don't know how to hang it up.
Oh, okay. Welcome, everybody. I have a script I was going to read, but I've lost it now because, let's see. We started out the broadcast having some technical issues. We couldn't get logged on, but now we're on and ready to go. So we're only about 13 minutes late starting. So let me start. Good evening. I'm Lion Dave Orr, District 15 Technology Chair, and we're glad to have you join us for our second Spotlight on broadcast. Last fall, we featured the Pinedale Lions Club. Tonight, we're proud to shine the spotlight on the Sheridan Sundowners Lions Club as they begin their second 100 years of service. Their anniversary was on May 16th of last year, 2021. With us tonight are Lion Bill Rathburn, who joined the Lions Club in February of 1972. I looked it up. 50 years on the 1st of next month. Congratulations and welcome, Lion Bill.
Thank you.
Also with us is another 50-year Lion. Well, maybe there might have been a gap in service. It looked like he joined the Lions the first time 50 years ago and then transferred into the Sheridan Club. But let me say it this way, Jim, it's been 50 years since you first joined Lions.
Correct.
To the records. He's currently serving as a board member of the Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Bank. And welcome to you too, Lion Bill.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess we'll move forward. Bill, I know you haven't been a Lion since your club started. You've been around a long time, but tell us a little bit about the beginnings of your club.
Okay, to talk about the beginnings, it's a little bit before my time. But we started this club it was chartered May 16th, 1921. So a little over 100 years ago. At the time it was started, I've been kind of trying to find our charter and everything. I'd find anywhere between 46 and 50 members. Some say 46, some say 49, and some say 50 members. So it was a fairly good-sized club at that time for 1921. What I thought was interesting was that I was looking at the dues at that time. The nearest I can tell, $5 of that dues was sent to Lions International in Chicago. Actually, I looked it up, and the secretary we sent it to, Secretary of Lions International at that time, was Melvin Jones. And I thought that was interesting, since we know a lot about Melvin Jones and the starting of Lionism. But Then the dues, it looks like, was $20. When I tried to prorate that into today's dollars, it sure sounded like it was expensive. $20, today I think would be a lot more than we're paying in dues right now, if our dues was actually $20. And that's what it looked like in looking back at some of the history. Of those around 50 members, and they were mostly, for the most part, business members. They were business or professional members. A lot of doctors, attorneys. I saw an undertaker on there, and a lot of the businesses in town had their owners as members. And maybe that's why the dues might have been a little higher at that time. Probably as far as the rest of the people out in the state are concerned, they wouldn't recognize many names on it because they're mostly local names. I recognized a lot of the names as being Sheridan names, but the one that a lot of people would recognize would be Senator John Kendrick. John Kendrick of the Kendrick Cattle Company was senator for us back in those days, and he was a charter member of the club. And it was interesting, I even saw a notice in there that they sent him a complimentary membership. So $20 complimentary membership to Senator John Kendrick. They met at one of our major hotels in town at the time, right in downtown Sheridan, the Western Hotel. Not to dwell too much on the old history, but I did want to mention something that I thought was very interesting, and you might show it on the screen, but we found an article in the Sheridan Enterprise, which was a local newspaper at that time. And I think the article came from around 1926. I don't have a date on the exact article. But just to paraphrase a little bit out of that article, the city of Sheridan at that time had a high school. And at that time in 1923, before 1923 anyway, high school was not real popular for everybody. But in 1923, a bigger percentage of the community started attending high school, and Sheridan High School was getting very crowded. And a group of parents went to the school board to try to see if we could get a bond issue going to get a new school in Sheridan. That bond issue happened in July of 1923, and they put it out before the public, and it was defeated. Didn't happen. So in October of 1923, a committee from the Lions Club of Sheridan went to the school board, and they said that they really felt that more people wanted that new school than didn't want it, and they were willing to volunteer to do a canvass of the community. So at major expense to the Lion Club, they went out and they canvassed the community, and they came back to the school board with a report that said they found in their canvassing that more people wanted it than didn't want it, the new school. So the school board took them up on and felt that that was a good survey, and so they had another bond issue in December of that year. So now we've gone from July to October, the committee, and now to December. They had another bond issue, and that bond issue passed, and Sheridan got a new school. So I thought that was interesting that the Lions Club were very instrumental in the early days of getting into the community. I might, I'll hold this up. This is a publication that was put out in 2001. In 2001, the Sheridan Lions Club had been chartered for 80 years. So they had 80 years, and I wasn't a member at that time. Due to my employment, I couldn't attend noon meetings anymore, so I had transferred over to the Sundowners Club. And so I wasn't a member when this booklet was published, but somebody did a lot of work on this booklet that was put out. And that's where I got some of the information that I just gave you. But I got some other information. One of the things they did in this booklet, they published the names of all the charter members, and then they published, right after that, they published every member that joined after that. and there are pages and pages of members that joined, and they published the year they were joined, the year they were dropped. If they got reinstated, they published that date, and if they were dropped again after the reinstatement, they published that date. So that was very interesting, and I just did some looking at it to talk a little bit about membership in Lionism and membership probably in all civic clubs, fraternities, churches. Everything has been, we've seen a lot of membership decline. But I just looked at it in the first 50 years of the club. I joined 50 years ago. So before I joined, there were 17 pages on this list of all the members that had joined. And the 17 pages that were there are about 50 members on a page. So there were about 850 members that joined in the first 50 years.
Wow.
So 17 people a year were joining during that period of time. And then I looked at the next 30 years. This booklet was published 30 years later. This was our 80th anniversary. The next 30 years, there were 5 pages. About 250 members joined in the next 5 years, or the next 30 years. So that was 8 per year, joining in the next 30 years. And then I looked at the last 10 years in this booklet between 91 and 2001, and 45 members joined in those 10 years, 4.5 a year. So it just kept going down as far as new members coming in. At that time, in 2001, I looked at it because they also bolded all of the current members. We had 27 members. And I thought the 27 members in 2001 was interesting because 15 years prior to that, I was president of the Sheridan Club. And we had somewhere between 120 and 130 members 15 years earlier. And we were down to 27 members at that point in time. And I'm going to get to the point that in 2012, this club, the Noon Club that chartered then, had gotten down to maybe 15 or 20 paid members, but only 5 or 6 were attending a meeting. We had trouble with officers. We had trouble keeping a president. I had gone back to that club at that time. I retired and went back to the Noon Club and was trying to get it going, but we had a lot of members pass away during that period of time, and we were not taking in new members. So in 2012, after many years of looking at it, I guess I should go back a little bit. In 1982, the Sheridan Lions Club sponsored another Lions Club in Sheridan to get one in the evening, and they sponsored the Sheridan Sundowners Lions Club. So for 30 years or better, 30 or 40 years, we had 2 Lions Clubs in Sheridan. And those 2 Lions Clubs, the Sundowners Lions Club was probably more prolific than the Noon Club. And so we finally joined together in 2012. And in 2012, we joined together the 2 clubs. We started off with maybe having one meeting at noon and one meeting in the evening every month, and that didn't work out. And so we finally went to evening meetings. As it turns out, today we only have 2 members from the original Noon Club that are still members of the Sheridan Sundowners Club. So, that's kind of our early history and a little bit of our later history, and that's where we're at now. We have 2 clubs that have joined together. The thing that got us got us an agreement to join together was the fact that one club donated the charter. So we kept the charter of the Noon Club since it was 1921, and we kept the name of the evening club, the Sheridan Sundowners. So that's why we're the Sheridan Sundowners Club now.
Great.
So
that thing about the school bond issue, the Lions Club was really active in that point in time, and of course you still are, but that made a big difference to the community and the whole future of the community getting a new high school built.
Yes. I thought that was very interesting, and I didn't know anything about that until we started doing some research for this broadcast.
Uh-huh. Well, Bill, I know you weren't a Lion then either, but you weren't a Lion at this time, but it was a really important date in the history of, I'm sorry, Jim, I wanted to ask you, I think, when were the first women admitted to the Sheridan Club?
Okay, the first women were admitted in 1987, the same year as the LCI changed their constitution. And the first women officers of the Sheridan Club was 1988 through 90 was Secretary Treasurer was Nancy Drummond. 93 through 94, and then again in 96 and 97, President was Lois Lorraine, and she was also the chairman of the district convention in Sheridan in 1996. And then in 2000, 2001, the president was Karen Roth. And
Your
then
current
the sundown,
president is a woman, right?
pardon?
Your current president is a woman.
Yes.
Yes, Gail Vander. Roth.
Right.
Anyway, then in the Sundowners in 1987, when they were going to admit women, Lion Mike Ryan said he'd quit Lions if women were let into the club. So ironically, Lion Mike sponsored the first female in the Sundowners Club. It was Lion Denise Rollins after her corneal transplant surgery in 1998. And they are both still members of the Sheridan Sundowners.
98 or 88?
88.
88.
Yeah. So he ate his words?
Yep, he ate his word.
Great. Jim, I didn't mention this earlier, but you served as district governor in 2014, 2015, right?
Correct.
Yeah, cool. Well, tell us, I forgot now who's going to talk about this. Tell us about the 100th anniversary celebration.
Okay, we had that down in the Blacktooth Brewery here in Sheridan. We had a good turnout. We had presented the Night of the Blind Award, presented to Lion Don Cherney and his guide dog, Sammy. And it was attended by District Governor Annalyn Reeder, past international Lion John Dom from Spearfish, South Dakota came over. And we had several members of the Bighorn Club and the Story Lions Club were also present. And we got 2 new members that night. And we also showed off the vision screening machine to the people that were interested in it.
I might just mention that picture you had up there. We gave an award to Lion Don for his former dog, Sammy. That dog, the dog in the picture, this is his second dog from Leader Dog program. This is Benny in the other picture.
I think Lion Don continues to serve as the Leader Dog chairman for the district as well.
Yes, he does.
Correct.
Right, cool. Well, let's see here. Tell us about some of the club's projects over the years. I understand you've done concessions at lots of different events.
Yes, we did concessions at the infield during the county rodeo. And then we also did on parade day for the YO rodeo. We had concessions behind the Mint Bar, and then on the YO rodeo dance night on Main Street on Friday night and Saturday night. We had concessions there. And that worked out good until they started getting all the people that's doing that to make a living with their food trucks and stuff. And they came in and was going to make real good deals with the people at the rodeos and the parade day and everything. And we got shoved out. We also parked cars at the Snicker Cup soccer tournament for several years in Bighorn.
But probably the biggest one you have done over the years has been working the basketball tournament for Sheridan College, right?
Yes, the basketball tournament. That was our major fundraiser in recent times. Anyway, we had 46 years of basketball tournament with Sheridan College. It started in about 1964. 74. We started in 1974. We had a professor that was a Lion Club member by the name of Ken Ohm. He was a physics and astronomy professor at Sheridan College, but a member of Lions Club. And at that time, they had a men's basketball team, and he thought it would be a good fundraiser to start a tournament. So what we did is we started out by inviting 3 other teams, and these were men's teams only that they had during those years. But we had invited 3 other teams to Sheridan over Thanksgiving, and it was called the Thanksgiving Basketball Tournament. And it was Friday and Saturday. Each team got 2 games to play, and it was a good tournament. And it turned out to be a good fundraiser for us, so we kept it going. But we did find out that calling it a tournament didn't work very well for us, because if our hometown Sheridan team would lose on Friday, that would put them in an afternoon game instead of the evening game on Saturday, and that really decreased our attendance and decreased our gate. So we finally started calling it a basketball classic, and kind of a round robin thing that we did. And each team that came in still got 2 games, but they were not in a tournament game. It wasn't winner play winner and loser play loser. It was just 2 games that were already pre-scheduled.
But you always scheduled the Sheridan High School team for the evening on Saturday after that.
Both Friday and Saturday, they were scheduled for the last evening game. I don't know what year it was, but Sheridan College ended up with a women's basketball also. And so when they got women's basketball, and I don't know if we did it in the first year or it came on later, but we invited the women to be part of that tournament as well. So we invited 3 men's teams and 3 women's teams from around the region, not just from Wyoming. The Powell College was always part of it, but Miles City was Montana was part of it. We've had North Dakota teams, we've had Colorado teams. It was a tournament of quality teams that we had coming in, and like I say, we invited the women, so we had 3 women's teams and 3 men's teams. It did get very expensive for us, so we had to go to the community and have sponsorship from our community to make it work, because we paid the teams a stipend to come in. We had to pay for all the referees, and after a while, they started making us have 3 referees per game instead of 2. So expenses got very expensive, but it still was a profitable tournament. We were still able to keep it as our major fundraiser. And the only reason we lost the fundraiser was Sheridan College, for whatever reason, Sheridan College disbanded all their athletics except rodeo. And so Sheridan College lost their soccer program, their tennis program, their volleyball program, and their basketball program. They lost all of their sports, and so because of that, we don't have that tournament anymore. So we had to look for a new fundraiser.
And speaking of which, you had your second annual bicycle ride this past fall. Tell us about that.
Yes, that was what we call the main event. It's a gravel grinder, and we had rides of 25, 50, and 100 miles in the first year that we did it here. And we ended up with, I think it was 47 people that was in there. And
they're not all in this picture, I'm sure.
No, but there's, and we started out at the information center up at just off the interstate, and we left from there. We came back to there. That's where the timing booth was set up and everything. And then we went downtown. Well, everything went fine. There's no question about that. But all the cars and everything that were coming into the information center, going in and out, it was sort of hard. So starting in September this year, I think it's the 17th and 18th. 17th is doing the registration. Then the 18th will be the ride. We're going to a little place east of town. It's by the name of Arno, and they've got a bar there, restaurant. They got a community hall, and we're going to get away from a lot of that traffic and stuff. And we're redoing the website for the main event and everything. And it's just, hopefully it's going to turn out very good. It turned out good, I thought, for the first year last year. Stuff. So.
Well, tell us about some of your additional service projects that you do in and around Sheridan.
Well, I don't know. This isn't a service project per se, but we do another thing. It's called the Downtown Association has a third Thursday in June, July, August, and September. And the club has a booth down there, and we hand out information about the club and our activities to everybody. And sell wreaths for wreaths across America. And then the other service project we're doing is, the big thing is vision screening we're doing now. And over the years, we've done this in the following schools: Holy Name here in Sheridan, Bighorn, Tongue River, KC, Claremont in Wyoming, and then Wyola and Lodgegrass in Montana. And the reason we go up into Montana is the closest Lions Club that has a machine in Montana is Billings. And we're much closer, and they're very appreciative that we go up and do it instead of them having to drive down 100 miles to do that. And we also demonstrated the vision screening machine to the school nurses at Sheridan District 2. And they were so impressed with that there that the district ended up and they purchased their own machine. So they've got that now. And then we purchased eyeglass, of course, for school-age children. We do a road cleanup. And I think we were the second Lions Club in the state to do this. We participate in the Wreaths Across America program for deceased veterans by selling wreaths and placing wreaths on veterans' graves in the cemeteries here during December of each year. And we've adopted the Mountain View building along with Bighorn and the Story Lions Club at the Allen H. Stewart Lions Camp. We've been working on that, doing maintenance and everything.
I might mention the next one that we donate to the girls' school each year. Sheridan has the Wyoming Girls' School, but all the girls get assigned to it if they might have some disciplinary problems or they have some legal problems or something. They might get assigned to the Wyoming Girls' School. For many, many years, we have gone, the girls' school invites service clubs up there to visit them around Christmas time, in December, early December sometime. And we started doing this, and we give a donation to the girls' school after going up there, having dinner with them. We meet with the girls. A lot of the girls up there will give us a talk on some of the experiences they've had in their life, and it's a very, very uplifting thing for us to do. And so between us getting the advantage of knowing what happens at the girls' school and hearing some of the stories that the girls have and being able to help them, the money I understand that we give them goes to help them use it for their Christmas presents among the girls. So we think that's a very nice program.
Good project, you bet.
Right. Some of the other places we send donations to or have in the past is Lions of Wyoming Foundation, Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Bank, and the Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Institute Foundation, Leader Dogs in Rochester, Michigan, Allen H. Stewart Lions Camp, Lions Clubs International Foundation, and the scholarships at Sheridan College. And
Did you talk about the Mills Mountain View building.
Right. I mentioned that we're
Okay.
doing maintenance with that there, along with the story in the Bighorn Lions Club.
For any viewers that may not know, the Lions of Wyoming support a summer school for visually impaired kids and adults, and each of the several different zones, or that is areas or zones, have adopted a building at the camp to take care of it and keep it clean and maintain it and that sort of thing. And so this zone up there took care of this Mills Mountain View building. So tell us about your plans for the future, guys.
Well, right now we're got a possibility of doing a pancake supper during Lent. The Knights of Columbus up here have a fish fry on 2 Friday nights during Lent, and we'd like to do a pancake supper on 2 of the Friday nights they're not doing their fish fry. And we'd have regular pancakes and potato pancakes and see how it goes. I know our fish fry, they do very well on that.
When we talked before, you said you're thinking about doing some sort of a picnic or open house in the park during the summer as well.
Correct, to try and increase our membership if we can. We'll probably do a picnic or something like that there down at one of the parks in town or something. We did that many, many years ago up at the museum when that first started. And we had a lot of people come.
Anything that you can do to publicize your club. And
right. And we had Bighorn Lions and the Sheridan Lions, the Sundowners, and the Story Lions all. We went together and did that one that time. We had a lot of people came and they ate, and I don't know if anybody ever got any members out of it. But
well, you just got to keep your name out there in front of it.
It's one of those things.
Especially since we got started late, we're kind of running long, but I was hoping that you might each tell us a little bit about how you became a Lion.
Oh, I would be happy to.
Oh, you have the best story.
Maybe we should let Bill go first.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I have to follow that story.
No. In 1972, late summer, early fall, after the softball season was over with, baseball season was over with and stuff, one of my neighbors, a couple houses down, came and wanted to know if I wanted to go drinking beer 2 nights a month. And I said, well, sure. What are we doing? He said, well, we're going to the Lions Club meeting. So here's what I got to say to everybody. 50 years later, here's
still drinking
Lion
2 nights a week.
Right, and I'm still drinking the same beer. So thank you very much.
Bill, did you want to tell us a little bit about?
I can't follow that, as all of you know that I belong to a club that met at noon of professional people meeting at noon, and I certainly didn't get in it to drink beer. But when I got into the Sundowner Lions Club, when we joined together as one club, and I was now a member of the Sundowner Lions Club, Jim taught me everything I know, and I have the same habit now.
Yeah.
You adopted their culture. Huh?
I adopted their culture. Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, I really want to thank you for sharing a little bit about your club on the occasion, a little bit late, the occasion of your 100th anniversary. And once again, on behalf of the Lions District 15, I want to congratulate you and all your members on your continuing success as you continue to serve your community. To our audience, and I've been seeing back and forth, we have one person on, and then we had 2 people, and then 1. And so I don't know if somebody's coming back and forth or there's somebody's just flipping through the channels from time to time. But our one live viewer, we're thankful that you tuned in, and we're hopeful that everybody we'll see some people use the link to tune in after the fact and take a look at your program. But I do want to say good night to you, gentlemen, and good night to our viewers, and thanks once again for taking the time. Any parting words?
And Lion Dave, I thank you very much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
We hope to do some more 100-year clubs in the near future.
Okay.
Hey, thanks.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
night, guys.
See
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.